Christ Most High, I need you. To all my subscribers, thank you for subscribing to my channel. All right, let's get into this. I apologize for my hiatus, but I'm back with more information. Every time I go on a hiatus, I do come with more information. So I titled this live, "The Realm is a Clock." A lot of you might be wondering what I mean by this realm is a clock. Well, if you've been following my content for years now, you know that I've spoken numerous times that this realm is a plane, which means it is flat. A so called planet means flat and spread out. Okay? Now, when I say this realm is a clock, its design, its circumference is set up and laid out like a clock would be laid out. The way a clock goes clockwise, which basically goes right to left. Well, actually, left to left. Yeah, it goes from right all the way up to left. So it's going right to left, right to left, right to left. Because when it goes right, it comes right back up from the left to go back to the top, which basically also mimics how the sun actually moves in a clockwise formation as well. This realm being a clock means the zodiac clock that I also utilized as the thumbnail for this video. But the zodiac clock, or the astrological clock that they want to coin, whichever term you want to use, same difference, represents the age or the eon in which we are in. So with us being in different ages, different eons, that changes periodically. So when you look at a 12-hour clock to a 24-hour clock, it makes more sense for a 24-hour clock because it's going from night back to day and day back to night, depending on what part of the realm you're in. Day is night, night is day. At any given time, you're in daylight, and any given time, you are in darkness or night. So the eons or the ages that we pass through periodically represent how this realm operates, the positive and negative energies. So every eon or time, we have multiple in this realm of existence. Every other plane similar to this one is its own time zone. They utilize terms like time zone for a reason. It's a play on words, but they're also telling you something without telling you. So in this particular realm that we know as the Americas and so-called Africa, Europe, whatever, this particular plane that we live in is its own time zone. The next realm over outside of this part, when you go and keep going in Antarctica and you run into other lands, other realms, other planes, they are their own time zone, their own eon, their own age. Every realm of existence or plane of existence has its own unique time zone, so-called time zone, its own eon. They're in different eons. So when they tell you, for instance, we are in either the Eastern time zone, Central time zone, Pacific, Mountain time zones, they're telling you that there are different time zones for different parts of the world. Well, in this case, look at it more broadly. Different time zones, they're telling you every realm has its own unique time zone, its own unique eon. That is what they're trying to tell you. And also, with time, we know time does not exist truly. That's why I use that term very loosely. Every point of existence, And I do mean every point of existence. That means past, present, and future. All run simultaneously at the same time. That is why sometimes you'll have deja vu, which means you see something that in a dream, and then in reality you wake up, you see that very same vision come to light because you've seen it before in a different eon. You just haven't caught up to it because time, so-called time, runs parallel at the same time. So the past, present, future is all happening at one time. There is no linear to it. It's just it's straight going at the same time. Every eon is running parallel, regardless of where you think you are. You have to know exactly where you are. Maniji, you have to break free of this time capsule. Again, they use a play on words. They have put you in a capsule. They have put you into captivity in a construct known as time. Time does not exist. You are a light being. These avatars are not supposed to be permanent. They're temporary. You're supposed to be able to leave at will. But because you've been put in a capsule, captivity, basically in a box, you have tethered yourselves to this realm. That is the problem. That is how they have you here. Because they have created a mindset that you believe in time. You believe in the material world. And that is a big, big problem. Because when you believe in the material world, you lose your connection to the spiritual realm. We are spiritual beings. That's why we are of the Creator. We are spiritual beings, not physical. But anyway, when it comes to the realms, they're their own clocks. If you look at the flat earth image from 1972, I utilize that in one of my thumbnails of my video. Marcus has multiple images of that as well from 432 The Drop, okay? And a few other people. It's not hard to find that image. And look at the circumference and then look at the zodiac clock. It's set up like a clock because we live in a clock like circumference. Understand this, comprehend this, Maniji. It's very important that you do. The other part that I wanted to speak on was who came here. I mentioned this in a video, a couple videos ago, maybe like 3-4 videos back. I mentioned that the invader that came here was the African, the so-called African. The images that they utilize for the colored European, they are the real royalty, which is the children of Israel. They utilize those images to hide behind. That is what they did. They hid themselves. In plain, well, not in plain sight. They gave you an image to look at so that you wouldn't think to look anywhere else but Holy Roman Emperor Charles V. Look at that image of him. I also utilized his image as a thumbnail for one of my videos. Marcus for 432 The Drop has that image as well. Carameo also has that image. Okay? Look at his phenotype. His facial features. His facial features are of the so-called Africans' phenotype. But if you look at the other so-called color Europeans, they look like us. He's the only one that looks different. He is the African. He's the one who came here. It was the African that put you into captivity on your own land. That's why they want you to believe you're African. Because they don't want you to understand. They don't want you to understand, comprehend. They are your enemy. They are the ones, with the help of our own people, to colonize you, so to speak, and take everything, your existence, your heritage, your culture, your memory, your land, your connection to the Creator. Everything. I mentioned this before, but that is why they push Africa to you. That's why they do it. But you have to understand, they told you the African came here. Now, they said you were Africans and came here on a slave ship, blah, 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 blah. No, but they told you the African came here to the Americas. They told you this. But they have to tell you the truth, but they do it in a twisted and distorted way. They don't want you to know who actually puts you into captivity on your own land. That is why the Africans don't like us. And they don't like us from their core, okay? They innately do not like us, okay? Comprehend this. Understand why they push the African thing so much. They want you to make your enemy your friend. They want to blind you to who is your true enemy. They can't beat you. They never could. All they could do is write you out of history and create a story about you that was not true. They couldn't beat you. So the next best thing is either, if you can't beat them, join them. They know they can never join you. They are not us. They are not the children of Israel. They are not the true Hebrew. Okay? They can never join us. So the next best thing for them is have you willingly join them. Make it make sense, my Niji. If they can't join you, they'll make you willingly join them. You are important to the whole fabric of this existence. They want you to join them. You give them power. That's why they want you to join them. Say that you're African. Believe that you're African. That's joining them. That's making a unconscious yet conscious contract, a pledge of allegiance to an entity that is not you. Comprehend this, my Niji. Trust Most High.